This video is not clickbait. I really did meet my husband on Instagram. Hey guys, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my corner of the internet. And no, this video is not clickbait. I really did meet my husband on Instagram. I'm gonna go around the story for you, tell you all about it, and give you some receipts. I screenshotted everything on Instagram. It's still up, so if you want to follow me on Instagram and go look for yourself, you can. I promise it really did happen like this. I know that it sounds crazy and it's just really funny to us now, but it is the truth. It is how we met each other on Instagram. Okay. So I guess we're just gonna jump right into it. So I was a junior in high school and he was a freshman in college. I had switched high schools from one to the other at the very beginning. Like I started junior year at another high school, and one of the classes that I was taking was chemistry. Well, there was this guy in my chemistry class that I got grouped up with, and his, should I say his real name? I don't know. It's probably okay if I say his real name. I won't say his last name, but anyways, his name was Luke, and we were friends. We had like got partnered together in chemistry, and I actually knew his girlfriend. She didn't go to our school, but I had known her from when I was little, so we kind of like became friends over that, I guess you would say. So I got on Instagram and he was recommended to me. Luke was recommended, and his name was like Dibby Skibby. I'll write it on the screen in case you can't understand what I'm saying. And I followed him. And then like a couple days later, it said recommended again, and it said Skibby Dibby. And to me, I thought it was the same thing, and I was like, oh, I thought I did follow Luke. And I just immediately pressed follow. I didn't click on the profile or anything. I just pressed follow next to the name and just went about my day. And then like a couple of days later, maybe it was weeks, I'm not 100% sure on the timeline of this, but it said that Skibby Dibby posted a photo of a car. Here's the picture. He posted a photo of a car and he was like, I love this car, I wish I could fit in it, or something similar to that. You can see it on the screen. And I commented on it because Luke should have fit in the car. Like I was confused about why he was saying he wouldn't fit in the car. So I commented on it and I was like, what do you, like, why wouldn't you be able to fit on the car? I'll change it to the comments now, because I can't read it word for word. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't look at the screenshots myself, but I know the gist of it. I commented on it and I was basically like, why wouldn't you fit in the car? And then he was like, I'm like 6'4", and I was like, you're literally not 6'4", what do you mean? Don't be mean to yourself. And then it just turned into something, right? And so then as soon as he's saying like he's 6'4" and stuff, I was like, you're literally not 6'4", what are you talking about? So then I clicked on the Skibby Dibby profile and I went to it and it was not Luke. So I was like, oh my gosh, I just commented on some stranger's photo. I'm really confused right now, and like I just didn't understand how I was following this person, like, and they had like the same username as my friend Luke, and I was just super confused. And I was kind of embarrassed because I thought I was talking to my friend, and I wasn't talking to my friend. I was talking to some random person, and so that was really weird. But I didn't say anything. I just like left the comments as they were, and I was just like embarrassed. And I didn't like message him and say, hey, I thought you were somebody else or anything. But the reason that this happened was because my friend Luke and Josh were best friends in high school. Josh had just graduated from that high school that I had moved to the year before. So Luke was still there, obviously, and they had been friends previously, and they had this inside joke, and that's why their usernames are the same, because they were best friends and they had an inside joke, so their usernames were literally the same thing. And that is how I accidentally followed my husband on Instagram. And after I had commented on that car picture, he started commenting on my picture. So I posted a selfie one day and he commented under it and he was like, hey, I like that song, like, he was like, I like the person singing that song. And I was like, yeah, me too. And like I thought he was cute, like I definitely thought he was cute. That's why I didn't like unfollow him and freak out and be like, oh my god, this is some creep, I just commented on some freak's thing. Like I just left it because I was like, oh, he is cute. And we kept commenting under the car picture, but not like very far. After it stopped, I just stopped because I was embarrassed. And so then he started commenting on my selfies, and like he did it like I think 2 times. And after the second time, we were talking about the song underneath that one, and it turned into him messaging me on Instagram, I think. I don't have any messages on Instagram anymore. I don't know where they went, and the messages that those messages on Instagram, I didn't want to give him my number, so he added me on Facebook, and we started messaging on Facebook Messenger because I didn't know him, and I didn't even know at this point that he knew Luke. I just thought it was a random person, so I didn't give him my phone number. He added me on Facebook and started messaging me on Facebook, but the sad thing is that I don't have screenshots for the freaking messages on Facebook. I really wish that I had them because I'm sure they're really funny. Like, they have to be really funny. But anyways, so me and Josh both checked our Facebooks. I don't have the screenshots to them. If I do find them, I'll put them on the screen, but as of right now, I could not find them. I looked everywhere for them. So he messaged me on Instagram, and we started talking for like a second, and then it turned into Facebook messaging where we talked, and after a couple days, I started to have a crush on him, obviously. Like, I already thought he was cute, but then I started like liking him, and at the time I was actually working at Zaxby's. So at Zaxby's, I started talking to some of my friends. We all went to the same school, and I was like, hey, I'm talking to this person, and I showed two of my friends the picture of him, and I was like, hey, we've been texting, like we kind of met on Facebook, and they both were like, hey, we know him, he used to go to our school, he just graduated last year. And I was like, oh, really? And so they were like, he's so sweet, he's like a giant teddy bear, he's so sweet, he's such a good person. And they like said that they knew him, and I was like, oh, okay. So I felt better. I felt so much better about talking to him. I gave him my number, we started texting more. I talked to Luke about it, and I was like, hey, yeah, I'm talking to your friend. And it just turned into this thing where everyone at my school and all my friends knew him because he had just graduated from that school. And so it wasn't weird to me anymore. Like, at first it was like, oh, I'm messaging this stranger, and it was like weird and embarrassing, but then it turned into, oh, everybody says he's a really great person, and that he's really nice, and that he's really sweet, and I really like him, and I do think that he's really nice. And so then we started like FaceTiming every night, we started talking on the phone, we started texting, it just turned into something, and we like fell for each other. It just turned into this thing. But then we had the issue of, how do we tell people that we met each other? So obviously I was a junior in high school, and he was a senior. I mean, not a senior. I was a junior in high school, and he was a freshman in college. And I thought, my parents are definitely not gonna let me go out with this person that's in college. But I was like, and not only was he in college, but I met him on Instagram. So I was like, my parents are never gonna let me go out on a date with him. Okay, hold on, let's backtrack for a second. So his family and stuff lived in the same town as me. He went to college 2 hours away, but like his hometown was obviously the town that I lived in because that's where he went to high school at. So he would come home every couple weeks and like see his family. Well, we came up with a lie. And no, I do not recommend doing this. If you're younger and you're watching this, I do not recommend lying to your parents. But we came up with a scenario of how we met instead of saying that we met on Instagram, so that maybe my parents would let me go out on a date with him because I really wanted to go out on a date with him. So we said that he came into Zaxby's, which was in our hometown, and we met each other there, and he asked for my number. And that is how we told everyone we met. And we never told our families the truth about how we met until after we were engaged. Like, way after we were engaged. And even, like, this lie was stretched so far that even at my bridal shower, we were doing like this little quiz, like, game thing, and they were like, how did you meet your husband? And I said Instagram because I thought I had literally told everyone the truth already, and the majority of the people were like, oh, at Zaxby's, and I was just like, oh my god, I literally took that lie way too far. But yeah, that is about it. And now we have been together for 5 years, and in 3 weeks from now we will be married for 1 year. So yeah, that is the story about how I met my husband, and I think that is still really funny. We laugh about it all the time that we met on Instagram, and honestly I just feel like it was kind of like fate. Like, I just switched high schools and just happened to be, like, it has to be fate, right? Like, I switched high schools and just happened to befriend this guy and follow someone that had the same Instagram name as him, and it turned into something as big as us getting married. Like, I just can't say that that's a coincidence. It feels too much on purpose, and we fit so well together. Like, we're literally perfect for each other. So I would say that it was definitely on purpose. God definitely intended for all of those things to fall in place for us. So yeah, that's about it. That is the story about how I met my husband on Instagram. I hope you liked this. I guess I will see you guys next time. Make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss any more story times or fashion videos, because don't worry, there's more fashion videos coming. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.